My name is Joshua Alexander Souter. I was born on Saturday the 4th of May 2002 in Horsham, West Sussex, England. As the youngest of three, I found myself placed in a loving family of five. My dad was the vicar, and I found myself going to church as a pastor's kid, making the most of the children's group every Sunday with the games and snacks that were involved. I knew that I was safe. I knew that it was a safe place, and I knew that it was home. But at 8 years old, that all changed when my family moved to Wales. Crying myself to sleep, I didn't want to leave. I knew that Horsham was my home, Horsham was my place, and Horsham was my family. Moving schools, I found myself striving to find friends, trying to fit in, trying to find just one person who I could call a friend. But it wasn't that easy. I found myself being called names, being laughed at, and neglected. This was a tough time for me, as I had to say goodbye to my friends, hoping I would find new ones just like that. It left me wanting to find worth and value elsewhere, so I decided to press in with music. It was in these percussion groups and orchestras and a youth band at church that I started to find a sense of meaning and significance for my life. The more and more I immersed myself in music, the more I felt confident about myself. I started to speak out more at school and create a name for myself amongst my peers. However, this all changed when I went to high school and I was exposed to a completely new environment. A bigger school, a bigger year group, and bigger students. I felt like I had to start the process all over again. It was during these next few years that I was at the lowest place I'd ever been in my life. I felt like no one knew me for who I was, no one valued me for what I believed in, and no one took me in for who I really was on the inside. They only saw the mask I was wearing, covering up my true identity. The calling of names got worse. I could never fully express my feelings, as my opinion never seemed to really matter. I wasn't respected by my peers, and so I entered into a continuous negative spiral on a weekly occurrence at school. I remember coming home from school to the point of tears just because no one could accept me for who I was and what I believed in. During this time, I felt like my faith was shriveled up inside, like it had been eaten away by all of what was going on at school. I mean, I went to church, but only because the rest of my family were going. I helped out at church just because it was a good thing to do, or it sounded like it was a good thing to do. And it left me in this typical pastor's kid position of, yeah, that sounds cool, but that's not for me right now. I'll believe it, but I don't want to see it in my own life. I mean, not really anyway. But when it came to friendships, there was a deeper hunger in me. I knew that I needed good, solid friends around me, but I just didn't see where they could come from. So, I asked God, give me some good, solid friends that I can be real with. A group of friends that I could be encouraged by, be transparent with, follow Jesus with, and ultimately be loved by, as that was the thing I needed most in this season of my life. Gradually, one by one, I saw individuals come into my life that I knew would be more than just a friendly face. They would be people who would walk alongside me in life as close friends. Something that really impacted my faith journey was a Christian youth ministry called Firestarters. Firestarters is a group of young people who come together every 6 weeks to worship, pray, read the Bible, and go and share the love of Christ with others. It wasn't until I was exposed to this community that I knew that there were so many young Christian people around my age who had faith in Jesus and didn't just go to church for the sake of it. The more and more I went to these events, the more and more I got closer with God and closer with friends. It was a win-win. I developed my faith and I developed my friendships. Not only did Firestarters help me grow my faith, but I had some amazing mentors that God put in my life also. They challenged me to develop my faith, encouraged me when I needed to press through challenges, and kept me accountable with things I was contending for growth in. They helped me through things like learning how to have a devotional time with the Lord each day, read the Bible, and tackle addictions such as pornography and masturbation. Having these wise voices speak into my life has been a gift I would never have imagined. I thought I was just the boy in the corner who had to prove himself for others' approval, but little did I know that God had a bigger and better plan for me. He saw me, He picked me up, and put me on His shoulders. He said, I'm taking you home to the Father, where you've always belonged, always been loved, accepted, respected, approved, and had a seat at the table. So that's where I'm sitting for now, knowing that Papa's got a feast waiting for me.